legendary, even in hell.
What's up, people? This is Gorilla Comm 3.0, the YouTube channel dedicated to a dad being a goofball in his garage, but mostly playing with gadgets, radios, guns, camping, you name it. But mostly this is going to take more of a communications heavy sort of subject for this channel here. And if you look at my old catalog, you pretty much what you see is what you get. So it's been quite a while, about 5 years now or more, I don't know. And I'm trying to get back into the game here. I was thinking to myself, how am I going to reboot my channel? And I thought, hey, let's start small, slow, and steady, and cover a subject that I don't think I've ever seen covered on YouTube. Now that there's like all sorts of comm channels up there, from, you know, from the tactical side to the fire side to the hams, of course, and everything in between. How am I going to reintroduce myself into this genre? Why not pick the most mundane subject ever in communications, which communications in itself, it's the redheaded stepchild of any outfit, whether you're in the military, some Boy Scouts or something. Communications always takes a backseat, especially in law enforcement and somewhat in fire. Fire, they're kind of on top of that. But why not pick the most mundane subject and try to make something out of it? And no, we're not going to talk about ham mics. We're going to talk about ham mic holders. This little torture device, perfected within the 50s or so, to scrape up everyone's knuckles to caveman consistency. So if you've been called a knuckle dragging Neanderthal, you're probably a radio operator. Meaning, if you have a mobile in your vehicle, a radio installed in your vehicle, or some kind of command post, or even at home, more than likely you do have a microphone holder for each and every mic that you have in your vehicle. And this is just a small little selection of them, from older ones to current ones. And like I said, there are torture devices here. Many of knuckles been scraped on this thing here. This one is more sort of ominous. There is just these two prongs just ready to rip right in between your knuckles there, and the webbing there. Really nice. And so shallow to where you really have to get on top of it. Sometimes that'll, you know, get your fingernail there and pierce your fingernail. Just like if the radio in the vehicle is trying to torture you for just using the radio. When you're driving or doing four-wheel driving and all that fun stuff, it's hard to put these microphones back into its holder. Most of the time, you get it up, you do your little transmit and everything's fine, and you do this. You try to keep your eyes on the road, but no matter what, you think you got it in there, but you don't. You take a little bit of skin off your knuckles again, and it's a hassle. And what winds up happening is the operator will just leave it in the console or something in our little graveyard of microphones that doesn't have a home, because it's you know, driving and putting this on there at the same time, you know, could be a little drag. Once again, this is like old new stock that I have and some old parts laying around for years. So this one is the most dangerous, I think, because it's just these two little prongs ready for your knuckles. Then you get these that are kind of rounded a bit and a lot better, you know, more smoother. What's in here? There's another style of it, but the same sort of design. Same here. These are not too bad. Same design. Let's see what's in this one. This one is from Motorola, and of course this is a PowerWorks Chinese-made mobile. And each one of them, you know, they're pretty standard size as far as this little microphone sort of gadget here that fits in between the wafer in here and secures it in place. And it's pretty much a standard size. So you got that. That's another style right there. This is a Daniels repeater. This is a vintage 1990s microphone, same size. And then earlier, like in the 80s and 90s, you had these microphone holders that are called hang-up boxes, kind of like a throwback of the telephone terminology, where you're on hook or off hook. This is considered within the industry a hang-up box. So back in the old days, on commercial radios, sometimes you'll turn on the scan, and when you hang up your microphone, it tells the radio to go ahead and start scanning. And once you hear a call or something that you're interested in and you want to respond to, you take off the microphone off the hanger, and that places the radio in non-scanning mode. It stops scanning through a little micro switch that's behind in this box here throughout the hang-up box, and it'll tell the device whether to stop scanning or open up the audio for any signal that comes in, any carrier, instead of using a tone guard on it. And that's what this switch is there for. It's got a little microphone sort of etched or speaker symbol there to do that or the other, to either bypass this or not. So this is hooked up to ground. The black is hooked up to any ground, and the green is the signal going back to the radio to tell it to stop doing that specific function that's associated with the hang-up box. This guy right here. And this is another style of hang-up box made by the Midland company back in the 80s. So you're talking about the Syntec 2 models. This is new old stock here that I found. And here again, this is another style, kind of like cheaply made, but it's the same style. It's the same sort of, you know, thing there. And you could either have your speaker on when you're whatever function that you're programming to the radio itself. So that's that deal. But we don't have hang-up boxes anymore. We just have the regular sort of hardware that you see here. And on modern microphone like this KNG M150, I believe, microphone, there's a circuit board inside this microphone that would sense the ground being onto here. So let's say this is in your furniture in your vehicle. You have a little shorting sort of tab there where you could run this wire over to a good known ground spot. So every time your microphone is connected to the metallic or the metal part of the hang-up box there, that shorts or that connects ground, chassis ground, into this backing here, and within the circuitry there it tells the radio to do whatever function that it was programmed to do or not to do when you hang up the box there. Really, what do you call it? Motorola has that hang-up box function prominent in their software, their radio programming software. But and even if you go into the CPS, the programming software for the radios, it even says they kept the terminology hub, HUB, hang-up box, to give it a function every time you hang up your microphone onto a ground spot there, to tell the radio to do a certain function that it was programmed to do or not to do, depending on the operator. But most of the time, most of the radios that I've seen, they don't have that feature activated, and I never seen it in a ham radio application, radios that are specific to the ham hobbies, amateur radio like Yaesu and Alinco and perhaps some other ones. I'd never seen a mobile radio with a hang-up box sort of, function into it. It's mostly commercial radios like Kenwood, Motorola, BK, and so forth. So with this mundane subject of the microphone hanger, there's quite a bit of history on there as far as from the 80s on to present time. And you can see the progression of like big clunky metal sort of, garage made materials here to the modern hanger that you'll find these days comes standard with the equipment. But there's an extra step that blow these hangers out the water, and we'll talk about it. So what could possibly replace the humble microphone hanger? And that is the magnetic mic. And this I've discovered through going through many fire engines and fire related vehicles out there, and some law enforcement, not a whole bunch, but it was the fire service, anything related to do with fire that really has adopted this and just went to the races with it. In almost, I would say 90% of the vehicles that I've ventured into is, in the past 4 or 5 years, you'll see a magnetic mic in there. So this wasn't conjured up by me or discovered by me or anything. It was firefighters that saw a good thing and ran with it and implemented this into their fleet. And I have a couple of these in my service vehicle, and I'll show you what this is all about. So the microphone pretty much is modified to where you could use the magnets on there to properly secure this onto your vehicle furniture, where you normally would place a microphone onto it. So this is a couple of them right here, and this one here is a new box, so it's somewhat of an unboxing. So let's see what you get with this box here. And mind you, this costs between $25 to $35 maybe these days. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I got this. But the box is it's a really good box. And it comes with all this stuff here. Here you have the both pieces. This black disc up here actually connects up to your microphone, and the black base there where it says magnetic mic goes up against your vehicle. And then there's some more stuff underneath here. Like I said, really nice packaging here. And there's some more in this little compartment here. Some more hardware instructions. And yeah, this is what you get here. So here you get an Allen key for it, set screw, a template so you could mark where you drill the holes or anything and wherever you're going to mount this at your vehicle, and then the associated hardware for the rest of it, whether you screw it in or bolt it in. So you got your nuts and bolts and all that good stuff. And you also have a little spring here, this guy here, and I'll show you what that calls for. So let's start off with the base here. This is a piece of metal here. It is magnetized a little bit, and it's a good chunk of steel. So very sturdy, very soldier proof, if you will. And then you have your screws there to, neatly place this within your vehicle. On the back side, you have a little hole there, and that hole is where the spring that it comes with will fit in there, just like so. Gotta make sure it doesn't fly off on you or anything. And what that does is, if you got a metallic backing, let's say the cardboard here is metal that's grounded, it has to be grounded, that would transfer that ground, that spring there will make an electrical contact between the chassis of your vehicle or whatever, and it will ground this metal plate here, and that will function, that would make your hang-up box configuration active or configured to where this could be adapted to go ahead and provide the ground signal to your microphone to tell it to do whatever you programmed the hang-up box or hub function to do. So they thought about actually grounding a easy way to kind of ground this particular plate to your vehicle there somehow and be all nice and pretty, I guess. So that's what that thing is for. That's why I went into a lot into the hang-up box configuration in more detail. And it's just because of this little thing right here, which this company has thought about. And we're going to mount this on our torture board over here. Here's a set screw here, which will go into your backing plate that goes in the back of your microphone. So you just start it off here real quick, and they give you two of these. It only requires one, but I guess they found out that people lose them left and right, and gave you an extra one, which is pretty nice. And all that does is just slips on over on top of your existing adapter there to go into your hang-up hanger. And this piece right here is machined just right to fit in there, just like so. And you just tighten it down real quick with the supplied Allen key with the kit. So it's pretty much plug and play, and you have everything to make this installation. And that's all you got there. And this little adapter will fit all those microphones there, from early 1980s microphones and siren PAs to the modern stuff that you see over there now. And that's all it takes. It's a pretty easy installation. You just have this back piece there, and to hang it up, it's all magnetic. You could just grab it and pull straight back without having this up and down movement to where you could scrape your knuckles on on your furniture or whatnot, and you won't have the mess, the bloody mess that you're seeing over here. And it's really easy, and it's pretty tough. I mean, I've been four-wheeling with this configuration and stuff. I mean, not torturous Dukes of Hazzard takeoffs or nothing like that, but rough enough to where this thing stayed put no matter how much torture I put the vehicle in, which is not much really. Very mild four-wheel driving. So not scientific or anything, but I want to see how much force does it take for it to dislodge from this wooden board here. Like I said, not scientific, but a little bit of backyard engineering here. And let's give it a tug. It was like 4 pounds for me to pull that off. That's the highest it went. So not that bad. It's a strong magnet, and your microphone is not going to go flying anywhere, provided that you didn't put the microphone in a place where an airbag will catch this and makes this into a claymore mine straight into your face if you get in an accident or whatever. So that's upon your installation preference right there, if you like that kind of stuff or not. But there you have it, my little mini comeback to making videos, hopefully. And a subject as mundane as a microphone hanger. And of course, we're going to kick this up a little bit more as the ideas come rolling by. My next video is going to be more of a sit down sort of reintroduction of my channel and everything, what I plan to do, and some shout outs to some really cool people that convinced me to come back into this game here. Not as exciting as some of the other stuff out there, but it's my intro. Again, this is what it is. Magnetic mic. That's who it's from Innovative Products Inc. And you can find this anywhere. And the firefighters love these things.